This conference will now be recorded.
Good afternoon, and a big thank you to the Greater Albuquerque Housing Partnership for inviting me to give a project overview on behalf of the design team today. So we'll go ahead and get to it. Architectural, structural, interior, and landscape design was all provided by Decker Parrott Sabatini, with a long history of involvement in community affordable housing projects across the state. We're honored to be a part of this one with the GAP. My name is Hannah Greenhood, and I'm an architect with DPS. Again, honored to be here. Civil engineer Isaacson and Arthman, Green Rater and HERS Rater, the Green Insight, bringing a lead for Homes Platinum certification, along with a HERS rating below 55. Electrical engineering provided by AC Engineering, and mechanical engineering provided by NP Mechanical. A true collaboration amongst owner, architect, contractor, and the full design team throughout the entire process is what has the only way to bring us to today. On your screen is a graphic of location of site, Central and Eubank. Most prominently, the adjacency to Central Avenue was a huge driver of the design of the entire project. An L-shaped 4-story wood frame building of 92 dwelling units lines and creates an interior parking court incorporating both visitor parking and a secured resident parking area. Key features of the parking is added accessible parking spaces and a waiting loading area allowing for pickups and drop-offs at ease, which is critical for this type of project with a resident population who may be in a little bit need of more support for pickup and drop-off. The site itself is flanked by 3 key site amenities: an entry courtyard, a community courtyard, and a dog park. All 3 of these elements are along an accessible walking path that goes through the building and outside of the building, encouraging active participation in physical body movements. Along the interior corridors are lined with rails for that extra added support for a population in need of a little bit more support. A little bit more into those courtyards. The northeast courtyard is the community courtyard that is overflow from a central potluck room that we'll see in a little while. The key feature there are uplit seasonal fruit trees along a circular outdoor patio with accessible movable furniture for outdoor gatherings. On the opposing side, an entry courtyard with a loop trail that incorporates a therapeutic garden. Along that loop trail and along the entire site are opportunities for a moment to pause and rest with bench seating and shade, a really key component to the development of a senior community. The palette in front of you shows the deep analysis of the plant selection annually, from color to smell to wildlife, and how that gets incorporated into the overall landscape plan. On the outside of the building, that prominent Central Avenue face with deep roots into Route 66, trying to bring to fruition everything that the East Gateway neighborhood is trying to establish and bring back to this area. Key components like a horizontal LED neon-like lighting strip will allow for some of those iconic images to be returned, but also to add some added lighting along the street front, encouraging people to walk down the street and engage. All of the amenity spaces line this front area, trying to activate Central Avenue for pedestrians walking by. The Ponderosa Mobile Home Haven, the previous owners and residents of this site, the remnant of the iconic neon sign that you see pictured in front of you, was a true inspiration for many of the architectural elements, including color, lighting, shapes, and texture. A prominent mural in the middle is hoped to be developed by a local artist and further establish that return to the heyday of Route 66. Going into the building, as mentioned, amenities line that Central Avenue core with everything from a leasing office to fitness room, bike storage, and most prominent, a potluck room, which allows for overflow from the food pantry that's incorporated on site and also overflows into that community courtyard that we saw earlier. Potlucks are a key component of the Greater Albuquerque Housing Partnership's community development. So this space would allow for residents to gather and members of the Greater Albuquerque Housing Partnership community to come together as well with one of these great events coming together over food. Going into the unit plans, universal design is a key component of this entire project. All of the units are designed with this in mind, with adaptability, accessibility, and inclusivity into every single dwelling unit, not to mention the sustainability features incorporated to hit a LEED for Homes Platinum rating, including water efficiency, energy efficiency, and beyond. A look into the color palette and the strategy behind the interior design. A journey along Route 66 is the inspiration, with color palettes and materials shown on your screen reminiscent of the Route 66 path, highlighting the 4 locations along Route 66 that you see in front of you as a wayfinding tool from floor to floor, at each level through photos and other elements at key locations as you see on the screen in front of you. Ending with the potluck room, as mentioned, a heart of GAP projects with a focus on places for residents to gather and come together, bringing in that Route 66 1950s diner feel with a contemporary spin, incorporating a business center and bar top seating to bring much needed amenities to residents and share in community gatherings around their iconic potlucks. Ending in the rendering of the corner of the project, looking into the northeast courtyard and along that Central Avenue path. Again, honored to be a part of this great groundbreaking ceremony, and congratulations to the Greater Albuquerque Housing Partnership. Thank you again for letting me be a part of this. Have a great afternoon.